Alright guys, in today's video we have even more exciting PlayStation 5 news to talk about and go over here because we're talking about the upcoming PlayStation 5 reveal event. More specifically, we're talking about games. How many games can we expect Sony to show off? Well, it turns out that if this industry insider is to be believed, it seems like there's going to be an entire slate of games, a lot of games, which sounds very exciting to me. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Because people are now hungrier than ever before for PlayStation games and reveals, simply because we're all just so impressed with everything that Sony's been showing so far, and we're just really eager to see, like, what are the launch games going to be. We're going to see some big sequels announced, so we're going to talk about that. We are also talking a little bit more, just briefly, about something else that Tim Sweeney had to say about the PlayStation 5, basically saying that the world of loading screens is over. So I don't think that just applies to the PS5, that may apply to next gen in general, but there's no doubt that that's something Sony has put a big emphasis on. And finally, we are talking about some PlayStation 4 information. How many consoles have actually been sold up until this point? How many PlayStation Plus subscribers does Sony now have? The good news is it's all good. The numbers are just continuing to climb, and they're also letting us know, Sony that is, that everything is on track for the PlayStation 5 to launch this holiday. They haven't run into any major issues, which is obviously a significant update considering everything that's been going on in the world. So do me a big favor, hit that like button to show your support and to help the video out, and make sure you hit the subscribe button as well so you don't miss any future content. But starting here with the PlayStation 5 June 4th event. It seems like it really is going to be happening on June 4th. It says, according to VentureBeat's well-informed gaming journalist Jeff Grubb, the rumored June 4th PS5 reveal event is going to feature a whole lot of titles. Last month, Jeff Grubb claimed that Sony's reveal event is planned for next month on June 4th, and the journalist has now taken to Twitter to say that this event will likely feature plenty of titles to be shown. So, somebody asked him on Twitter, they said, "Slate doesn't sound promising. My English isn't the best, but that sounds like one game or something as an appetizer, right?" And he said, "Should be an entire slate of games. A lot." Now that's all he said, but basically what he's trying to let us know is that when Sony does have this big event, when they do show off PlayStation 5 games, I'm assuming it'll be a combination of first, second, and third party games. There's going to be a lot of them. And to be honest, I think it's fair for everybody to expect this because it's been a long time since Sony has really announced any new big games, right? Like, they've been focusing on all of the games that are coming out for the PlayStation 4, ending the PlayStation 4's life cycle, and it really does come off to me like they've really just been taking a lot of time to save up a lot of different announcements and teases as well. And to me, that's the big question here that I feel like we're not really going to have the answer to until we see it for ourselves. What is the ratio going to be between seeing, like, okay, these are the games that are coming sooner rather than later, and these are the games that we're going to show big gameplay demonstrations of, versus how many games are they going to tease? Like, are they going to show off Horizon 2 in a big way, or are they just going to tease that, right? And I think that that all has to do with the timing of when they plan to release it. But what about maybe the next the next Spider-Man game? Are they going to tease that, or is that something we can expect a full-blown trailer for? These are all questions that we don't have the answers to yet, obviously, but I think we're going to see a healthy combination of both. What about that Silent Hill game? The reboot, is that a real thing? I hope it is. How much of that are you going to show if it's real? What about that Crash Bandicoot game? Demon's Souls? There's a lot, guys. I mean, there's a lot, and I'm really looking forward to learning about all of it. I'm also just wondering how many different second and third party games we're going to see. Something tells me we're going to see a lot. Again, I think if Sony has proven anything in the past couple of days, is that they know what gamers want, and they know that gamers want to see gameplay. And they're obviously going to have a lot of that, I think, at the PS5 event, but they're also going to have a lot of announcements as well. So don't take my word for it. Take Jeff Grubb's word for it. He says there's going to be an entire slate of games. So I am very excited. If this is true, then we are literally just a few weeks away. And I know we've been saying this for a while now, but we are really just a few weeks away from the really, really, really big stuff happening. And it's hard not to get incredibly excited. Moving on from that, we're talking about Tim Sweeney once again. It says in a recent call with Jeff Keighley, Epic Games founder and CEO Tim Sweeney said the world of loading screens is over. The call was originally intended to focus on the brand new real-time demo of Unreal Engine 5 running on a PS5. According to Epic Games, Kim Libreri, hopefully I'm saying your name correctly, said demo is actual code that is currently playable on the PS5 dev system. However, the most interesting part of the call comes later, after already having discussed the demo, which shows off the new Nanite and Lumen systems that are native to Unreal Engine 5. Tim Sweeney interjects to comment on the potential Unreal Engine 5 has in conjunction with next-generation hardware. Sony's storage system is absolutely world-class. Not only the best in class on console, but the best on any platform, better than high-end PC. Expanding this statement, Sweeney explains the possibilities a storage system like this enables. The world of loading screens is over, he says. The days of geometry popping up as you're going through game environments are ended. So there you go, another big quote, big statement from Tim Sweeney that I forgot to mention in yesterday's video, where he's basically once again letting us know that Sony has done a lot with this console, and yeah, because of the PS5's SSD, the world of loading screens is over, and you don't have to ever worry about pop-in ever again. And this is just something that a lot of other people, I think, who have analyzed this tech demo, this is something they've been praising, where they've basically been saying that one of the most impressive things about the entire demo was there was not a single scene of pop-in where anything was popping, and especially that scene at the end when the girl was flying really fast across the screen over a long distance. You didn't see a single pop-in, which is extremely impressive, and it just goes to show what this SSD is going to do for some next-gen games, and how it can, as we continue to say, fundamentally change game design. So finishing up this video here, we're talking about PS4, I should say, console sales. It says, as part of the financial results for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2020, Sony has provided another sales update for its PlayStation 4 console. The platform has now sold through 110.4 million units in total, up from the 106 million it reported earlier this year at CES 2020. Joining those stats is the number of PlayStation Plus subscribers, which has increased to 41.5 million. That's an increase of nearly 5 million when compared to this time last year. Services such as PS Plus, PlayStation Now, and the PlayStation Store in general have become gigantic cash cows for Sony over the course of the generation, generating huge revenue that could see them sell the PlayStation 5 at a loss and make the money back when a user connects online. What supports that is the ratio of digital game sales compared to physical, increasing to 51%. During the current state of the world, the statistic rose to a whopping 66% between the months of January and March 2020. So I think that explains that. And it goes on to say here that the number of PS4 consoles Sony sells is projected to keep dropping as the current generation wraps up, with the PlayStation 5 taking over at the end of this year. Still, the PS4 can consider itself the fourth best-selling platform of all time. It's probably never going to reach the PlayStation 2's record 155 million units sold. But, even then, you have to admit what the PS4 has been able to achieve here is incredibly impressive. I think that it just goes to show when you support your console with really compelling games, people will buy your console. Exclusives do matter. It's the trickle effect. I've explained it time and time again. I think it's a real thing. I could be wrong about it, but I don't know, man. Is it really a coincidence that all of the best-selling platforms usually have the strongest support when it comes to exclusive content and exclusive games? Probably not. But yeah, PlayStation has just knocked it out of the park this generation. You see that they're really continuing to go on strong here with PlayStation Plus subscribers hitting 41.5 million, which is very, very impressive. I really have to wonder where the PS4 is going to end when it's all said and done. Right now, the trajectory, it's pretty much, if it stayed on the path it's on right now, it would actually beat the PS2, but there's no doubt there's going to be a hard drop-off once the PlayStation 5 is out. It might not, though. I mean, we're going to have to see how it all pans out, but I could see the PlayStation 4, when it's all said and done, landing at around 120, 125 million sold, maybe even 130 million if it really has some legs. But who knows? Maybe it could go even further than that. We really don't know. We're going to have to wait to see. But finally, the last bit of information I want to relay to you guys before we end the video is how Sony has confirmed that everything with the PlayStation 5 is on track. And this is a statement that they put out. Regarding the launch of PlayStation 5, although factors such as employees working from home and restrictions of international travel have presented some challenges in regards to part of the testing process and how the qualification of production lines, development is progressing with the launch of the console scheduled for holiday 2020 season. At this point in time, major problems have not arisen in the game software development pipeline for Sony's own first-party studios or its partner studios. So actually, this is so they're not only confirming that the PlayStation 5, this is something that they emphasize, that the PlayStation 5 is on track, but they're also letting us know that as of right now, and this is interesting to me, I find this interesting, that Sony is saying that not only is the PS5 going to be on track and it's going to release no problem, production is not an issue, but they're also confirming that their game software development pipeline for their first-party studios and their partners has not run into any major problems. Now, I find this interesting when you compare it to what Phil Spencer has been saying about Xbox, where he said the same thing about the Xbox Series X, basically saying that production is not an issue, the console will be out at the end of this year, no problem. But he actually did say that they are potentially, they are kind of running into some issues with game development, and basically just warning everybody, saying that, some games may end up being delayed, and if their teams feel like the games have to be delayed because of the, them working from home, they're going to do that. I just find it interesting that apparently Sony is not having that problem. I don't know if they're just finding more efficient ways to work around this, or if maybe they're just, trying to be more positive and they are actually having some issues, but they're using the term not having any major problems at this point, basically saying that nothing catastrophic has happened. So I don't know. I just find that interesting. I wanted to point that out, but that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. More importantly, I hope you did find all of this information informative or helpful. So be sure to leave the video a like if you did enjoy it or found it informative, and make sure you leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification icon so you never miss an upload, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.